So the things you do today, the things you do now, are going to affect your future. You don't have to be perfect, but if you make a mistake, correct course and try to make the fewest possible mistakes of all. Now that's the inner qualities you need. And you might have heard people talk about these things this week, and they're so important for you to do these things. But there's other things I like to talk about when I talk to young people about their future, more practical things, because I will tell you something you're not going to hear from everybody else. All the integrity and spirituality alone will not ensure your success. You have to have some practical skills as well. So have that base of integrity, have that base of spirituality, but you're going to have some plans. And you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get from here to there. And when I talked to these 40 very successful people, I asked them, okay, now I know what makes up your inside. How do you go about though being successful? How did you get to be a CEO, a president of a company? How did you get to be a U.S. senator, a 7-time Grammy-winning rock star? How did you do it? Aside from your personal conviction to integrity and spirituality. Well, let me ask you all a question. How many times have you heard somebody, a judge on American Idol or a basketball player or something, say, you can be anything you want if you focus and work hard enough? How many of you heard people say that? Almost everybody. Do you think it's true? No, it is not true. You cannot be everything you want. I am 5'8", and I can't jump, and I will never be in the NBA. Ever. Never. And I could work 24 hours a day. I could practice as hard as I want. I could focus on that, and it's never going to happen. I play guitar, but I'm not that good, you know? I'm never going to be on stage with thousands of people there. The fact of the matter is, you've got to be more practical about your career. And what I learned from working with, talking with, being around some of the most successful people in the world is they always had two qualities. They found something that they were really good at after trying a lot of things, and they found something that they liked. If you want to have long-term career success, find your best skills and find something you like, and it has to be both, because there are people who are really good at things they don't like. I had the unfortunate experience of talking to a lawyer not too long ago who always wanted to be an author but never took the time to write a book. He was a really good lawyer but very unhappy with his life because he had something he was good at but he didn't like. Similarly, as I said with the basketball or the hockey or the guitar or whatever, you can really like something, but if you're not really good at it, it's not going to work. So in addition to having the core qualities of integrity and honesty and spirituality, you're going to have to experiment a little bit. Try a few things. Make sure you're involved with your community. Look at what classes you like. And start to think right now, what is it that I really like and what is it that I'm really good at? And that's the direction you should go forward in as you move forward with your lives and your career, applying to college, going to college and having a career. But at the same time, everybody I spoke to, I did a little survey with percentage, like 90-something% of the people I spoke to said you also need to be flexible though. Even though you're setting out in a general direction, to say you're really good at public speaking and you love politics and you're going to set out toward a political career, if you say, okay, this is what my path is going to be and I'm not going to veer from it, that's not a good idea either. That same astronomer told me, keep in mind the universe started with a big bang, it's moving from a state of order to disorder, there's disorder all around you. If you really think you can hit the bullseye and sitting here today are sure you're going to be President of the United States someday, or sure you're going to be CEO of Google or something like that, that's a pretty dangerous path unless you have some flexibility. I remember when I was a first-year law student at Harvard Law School, I met a young man. He sat me down, he was very confident. He said, I'm going to tell you what my career is going to be, Tom. I'm going to graduate from this place, practice law for a couple of years. At age 30, I'm going to be the youngest senator from Kansas. At age 40, I'm making a run for the White House. He said, I'm focused on it, I'm going to do it, and you watch, and it's going to happen. You know where he is right now? Prison. You're absolutely right. He got caught running drugs and guns from South America. And you know what happened? When things didn't turn out, when that plan he had plotted out year, by day, by hour, by minute, didn't turn out right, he fell off the rails so quick he just descended into a life of chaos. It's because he had no flexibility in his plans. Almost everybody I talked to started out in a general direction, but they weren't so focused here, they looked a little over here and over there. Ronald Reagan, in my mind, the greatest president ever. Started out as a sportscaster, a radio sportscaster, because he was really good at talking and he loved sports. He found something he was good at, something he liked, and he went that direction. And then he took a trip out to Hollywood to do a sportscast. And an agent saw him and said, you know, you might do better in acting. And they got him a screen test. And then he was a movie star. That's still a long way from being president of the United States. And he saw some problems with the way the movie industry was run, so he ran and became president of a labor union. And from a labor union, he became a governor, and from a governor, he became president. That was not a linear focused path. That was finding what you like and what you're good at and looking for opportunities. I had the honor of working for Condoleezza Rice. You know what she started out as? A concert pianist. That's what she was, and she's still a great piano player, but she ended up being Secretary of State. And even in my own, much smaller career, I admit, I started out as a lawyer, and then I was asked to be a prosecutor by Senator Danforth, and then Senator Danforth liked the work I did and said, why don't you be my chief of staff at the United Nations? And then I'm at the United Nations, and the State Department says, why don't you come to Washington and run the law enforcement division of the State Department? And here this Missouri boy, out of nowhere, is in 30 countries in 18 months, leading diplomatic missions around the world, and then they made me ambassador. I came back here, and I said, okay, I'm going to teach now, I'm done with all that, and some of the members of my party said, we want to run you for political office. That is not a linear path. That's finding some things you like, finding some things you're good at, setting out in a general direction, and keeping all options open for the best opportunity. There are many ways to get to a good, successful, fulfilling life and career. The last thing I want to tell, thank you. The last thing I want to tell you is if you want to be successful, you need to develop what I would call professional charisma. You don't have to look like a movie star, but you have to know the facts cold, you have to work harder than everybody else, and you have to make other people feel good about themselves. If you're always the best informed person in the room, if you're the first in and the last out to work, people start to admire you. If you show respect for the contributions others make, and you recognize that ambition is good, opportunism is bad, always work for the better of the organization, you'll find people will want to promote you and move you up higher. So it's very important to drive yourself in a way that's consistent with good practices, ambition, working hard, and develop what I call professional charisma, where people want to be around you, where you don't have to force yourself on them. They want to meet with you. They want to spend time with you. They want to be part of your lives. And you'll find that people who are a generation older than you are going to want to give you opportunities. They're going to want to promote you. They're going to want to give you that summer internship, and then that permanent job, and then that promotion, or introduce you to that senator that may hire you, put them on their staff, which then gets your political career started. Those are the things you have to do, and it's very, very important. And also, it's not bad to have some fear in your life either. You know, people say, oh, no fear. I see all these no fear things that are going on. The fact of the matter is, when I was in Afghanistan, I talked to some of the Marines there and said, are you scared? I mean, we got Taliban all around us here. I don't feel so great about it, you know. And he said, absolutely, sir. We are scared to death all the time. And I always thought that was interesting that a tough Marine would say that. He said, but you can't let the fear paralyze you. You have to let the fear sharpen you. He said, when I'm scared, I see further, I see clearer, everything comes out in slow motion. I know where to shoot those guys, and I'm always going to get the bad guys. So it's okay to have fear. It's okay not to be sure of yourself all the time, but when you have doubts, don't let it destroy you. Make sure it sharpens you, turns you into a better person and a more successful person. I think if people see you, channeling your talents, channeling your ambitions for the greater good of the organization, whether it's a church, a charity, boys' state, your school, whatever, do the things I said. Have integrity, spirituality, be realistic about your career plans, keep your options open, don't worry about fear, be ambitious but not opportunistic. If you combine all those factors together, these are the qualities that make a great CEO, a senator, a president, a diplomat, all the things that I know people of your caliber and quality want in life. People will admire you, they'll want to be around you, and your future will take off at lightning speed. It's an honor to be with you here today. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you all in the future.